Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to discuss about history, fourth lesson, the Mughal Empire. So, what is the lesson name? The Mughal Empire. Who are these Mughals? These Mughals are the foreign rulers. They came from Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, different countries. They came to India and they ruled many years India. And this is called as a Mughal Empire. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the who are the Mughal empires and which Mughal empires they ruled, and what is the importance of that Mughal ruling. These all are we are going to discuss in this lesson. Okay, and if you see the middle ages of Indian subcontinent, there is a culture is a diverse culture and different culture we can see. Or Indian culture is a diverse culture, and the Muslim rulers, these rulers, Mughal rulers are actually they are the Muslim rulers, and they came to India and their and they ruled differently than Muslim ruling was imposed in India. Before this Mughal empire, who ruled India? Delhi sultans. After the Delhi sultans, these Mughal empires came into existed in our Indian subcontinent, and most of the Indian subcontinent was ruled by the Mughal empire. Who are the Mughals and where they came from? These Mughals are the Muslim rulers. These Mughals came from the other subcontinent. These Mughals are came from the different places. These Mughals are generally they are came from the Mongol. These Mughals also called as a Mongol rulers. Who is Mongol rulers? Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was the first. He was a ruler of the Mongol, and he ruled Central Asia, China, and Central Asia. And from that side, they are also called as the Taimur. They came from the Taimur also. They ruled Iran, Iraq, modern Turkey. They ruled. So these Mongols are the different countries. These Mongols came from the different purpose, different countries to India, and they occupied India and they ruled the our Indian subcontinent. Who was the first Mughal empire? Here, the first Mughal empire was the Babur. Babur was the first Mughal emperor. He succeeded the throne in the year 1494. In the 1494, he came to India and he captured our Indian country. And how many years he ruled? He ruled Indian subcontinent over 12 years. Okay, and he introduced many reforms in India. So here it also parts of what is now Afghanistan and Balochistan. These regions also, these rulers also came from the present day Afghanistan and Balochistan regions. It was established in 1526, enjoyed expansion and consolidation till about 1707, and survived even if in drastically attained from till 1857. From 1857 they ruled. Okay, up to our English rulers, British rulers. When they came to British rulers, in the British rulers also this Mughal empire was ruled in Indian subcontinent. Okay, this is the part of the all of you see the map of Mughal empire. The Mughal empire also ruled this region. Akbar, what is the region of? This is the region of Akbar. Akbar from 1556 to 1605 he ruled. And expansions under the Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, and how they are. This is the region of the Akbar, and expansion under the Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, and how they were expanded their territory from one place to another place, and how they are occupied other regions respectively. And see here, all of you see this picture, Mughal empire classic period. So what is the period of the Mughal empire and how they ruled, and which period to which period they ruled? Here first Babur was established the Mughal empire in India in which year? 1526. So he ruled from 1526 to 1530. Okay, and Humayun Who is Humayun? Humayun is a son of the Babur, and he ruled the Mughal Empire from 1530 to 1556. After Humayun, Akbar ruled this Mughal Empire from 1556 to 1605. Okay, and next Jahangir ruled from 1605 to 1627. Who is that? Jahangir. Next, after Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Shah Jahan ruled from 1628 to 1658. Next, last ruler. Who was the last ruler here? Aurangzeb was the last ruler, and he ruled from 1659 to 1707. But after this also, these are the important rulers of the Mughal empires, and many Mughal empires after this Aurangzeb also, many Mughal emperors, they ruled India till 1857, till the Britishers they came to India, and when Britishers occupied the ruling from Mughals, up to that time these Mughal empires ruled India. And first we will see the Babur. So Babur, he established 1526, defeated Ibrahim Lodi. Who is the Ibrahim Lodi? Ibrahim Lodi was Delhi Sultan. Okay, Lodi, from the Lodi Sultan, he was the Delhi Sultan, Ibrahim Lodi. So he defeated Ibrahim Lodi and he established Mughal Empire in India. In 1527, defeated Rana Sanga, Rajput ruler, and allies at Kanha. In the Kanha place, he defeated, who Babur defeated Rana Sanga in 1527. In 1528, he defeated the Rajputs at Chanderi, where in the Chanderi he defeated Rajputs, established control over Agra and Delhi before his death. Next, who is the ruler? Next ruler was Humayun. Humayun is a ruler, and he ruled from 1530 to 1540, and in 1555 to 1556. Humayun divided his inheritance according to the will of his father. His brother was each given a province. The ambitions of his brother Mirza Kamran weakened Humayun's cause against Afghan campaigners. Sher Shah defeated Humayun at Chauhan and Kanauj, forcing him to flee to Iran. So after that, the Humayun, after some time, Humayun went to the, where he went? He went to Iran because of Sher Khan defeated Humayun. After some time, again he came to India, and again he occupied India from Sher Shah. In Iran, Humayun received help from the Safed Shah. He recaptured Delhi in 1555. When he recaptured, Humayun recaptured India again in 1555, but died in a next year after an accident in his building. And after that, 1556 to 1605, Akbar is considered as the great ruler of the Mughal emperors. So who called Akbar, called as the great ruler of the Mughal emperors, and one of the most important, one of the great rulers of India. Okay, and he came to power, he came to throne in the, when he had 13 years of old. He came to emperor, and he is the savior. Who is that? Bairam Khan is considered as the savior of the Akbar, and Akbar is considered as a illiterate. He don't know anything and illiterate, and Akbar ruled Akbar did many wars against other rulers, and Akbar expanded the Mughal empire all over the India, and he expanded his region, Mughal empire region, and he was considered as the great ruler of India. Akbar is considered as in the military expansions and savior of the in the young age, who is that Bairam Khan is helped him a lot. Next ruler, Jahangir. Jahangir, he ruled India from 1605 to 1627. His military expansions, what the Akbar did, he expanded. Jahangir expanded the military expansions. Ruler of Mewar, Amar Singh, and he married many of the Rajput queens, and they maintained good relations with Rajput and other rulers, Ajmer rulers. Next one, Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan is also one of the great ruler of Mughal Empire, and Shah Jahan gave importance to the structure, constructing the buildings, and we know that he constructed many buildings, Red Fort. In his ruling, many constructions went on, like Taj Mahal. He built the Taj Mahal of his his wife Mumtaz Begum, symbol of the Mumtaz Begum, and also he constructed in his period. He constructed the Red Fort, and also present that Parliament House, and these all are constructed by the Shah Jahan. And Mughals traditions, we know that Mughal traditions are the different, and they wear different types of sherwanis and all that, and we know that they followed their customs and their traditions, and their traditions are different from our Indian tradition, and their festivals are different from our Indian tradition, and they introduced and they inculcated their traditions into the Indian tradition. That's what we are calling Indian tradition is a mixed up tradition, because many of the Afghans and other Delhi Sultans, they all are ruled India, and Muslim rulers also ruled India, and Hindus, Muslim culture, and all cultures are mixed up in India. Okay, and Mughal relations with other rulers. So how they are maintained relations with the other rulers means Rajput rulers, rulers of Sisodia, Rajput, and other rulers also, they maintained good relations with other dynasties and other rulers, and mainly these Mughal rulers, they married Rajput queens, and they also, to marrying Rajput rulers, the Mughal rulers, they expanded their country in many places of India. We can see here Mansabdar and Jagirdar system, and Mansabdars and Jagirdars is the one of the revenue system introduced by the Mughal rulers. Through about this system, they surveyed the land. They survey the land of the agriculture land, and it depends on the soil, and it depends on the how much agriculture they are doing, depends on that agriculture, and they imposed taxes. And Jagirdar, head of the Jagirs is the Jagirdar, and Mansabdar, head of the Mansab is called as the Mansabdar. And Mansabdars and Jagirdars, they collected taxes from the farmers, and they gave these taxes to the Mughal Empire, and this taxation also fixed in a 5 or 10 years, 10 or 5 years fixation taxes they fixed, and they gave these Mansabdars and Jagirdars, they gave rank depends on the salary wise, and also military responsibilities, and the salaries also they paid. This is about the Mansabdari system and military system, and military and Mansabdari system. Jagirs also divided, and according to the Jagirs, the Jagirdar responsible to that Jagir. Okay. Jabt and Jamindar. So main sources of income, how this income came to Mughal Empire, so how they ruled Mughal Empire depends on the Jabt. Jabt is the one of the tax introduced by the Mughal rulers, and Jamindars are the main income. Jamindars gave the main income sources to the Mughal Empire. These Mughal empires, they staying at a capital city, and these Jamindars, they collected taxes taxes called is a Jabt. Jabt is also one of the tax which was imposed by the Mughal rulers. They collected this tax from the from the peasants and villages, and they collected all this revenue, and this revenue is given to the Mughal Empire, Mughal king. And Mughal Empire policies. Akbar imposed many policies, introduced many policies in Aini-e-Akbari. Abul Fazl wrote the, who is that? Abul Fazl. Abul Fazl wrote the Aini-e-Akbari. In this, it is a biography of Akbar, and what is the how the Akbar was ruled, and what is the policy of the Akbar, and Akbar's policies, and what are the policies Akbar followed, and religion policy of the Akbar. These all are Abul Fazl. Abul Fazl is the friend of Akbar. This Abul Fazl wrote this Aini-e-Akbari. In this book, he mentioned all about the Akbar's ruling, and how the Akbar was ruled the territory, and what are the taxes he imposed, and who are the subedars and subas. The province was divided into subas. So what is that subas, and how they were ruled, and what is the military expansions, how this Akbar was expanded his territory to territory, and what are the policies he followed, and also Akbar introduced Ibadat Khana. So what is Ibadat Khana? Ibadat Khana is one of the religious purpose, and so why these all religions are different, and what is there in their religion. In the Ibadat Khana, it is a one Ibadat Khana. This Ibadat Khana is one of the meeting. He conducted this Ibadat Khana in Agra, Fatehpur Sikri. So here Akbar built the Fatehpur Sikri city. In this Fatehpur Sikri city, Akbar, what are the religious policies, all the religious policies of all the religions he want to know, and what all other religions are saying. These all are, he was heard in this Ibadat Khana. And we know that Akbar is a illiterate, so that all the religion heads, they will came to the Akbar's court. In this Ibadat Khana, they wrote Shul-i-Kul. What is mean of the Shul-i-Kul? Akbar idea. What is Akbar idea? Akbar idea is a Shul-i-Kul. So what is the meaning of this Shul-i-Kul? Universal peace. So all religions are equal, all religions are saying same thing, and we have to follow the rules and regulations. We have to don't do any harm to other persons. All these religions are saying same only, but traditions and festivals are different from each of religion. Each religion have their different festivals and their different celebrations and different so here Shul-i-Kul means universal peace. This is about the Akbar ruling and Mughal ruling in Indian subcontinent.